Hi there. If you're new around here, you can call me Rose. And that's okay, because I'm new around here too. This is literally my second time recording this video because I did it, I recorded it, I got emotional during the first take. I'm gonna see if I can not get emotional during this one. But got emotional, recorded the whole thing, went and loaded it onto my computer, started watching it, realized I had lipstick on my teeth the entire video. So I checked, I don't have lipstick on my teeth this time, and we're gonna see if this one works out a little better. I can't believe that happened to me. This is the worst day ever. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so I'm back outside under my big tree, and it is windy again. It's always windy on the days I want to record. Maybe it's a sign that change is coming. That's okay. Also, I've kind of fallen back on my desire to do more with this channel. I really want to keep going. The problem is last week was kind of busy for me in my personal life, and I just couldn't find a moment to get in the right mindset to do the things that I wanted to do for the prompts, but I did them finally, and I'm gonna again try to be better. All I can do is my best, but we'll see. So one of the prompts from last time was to create something using unconventional means or unconventional methods, and I have done that with this. So I feel the need to explain this a little bit. What I did was I used a newspaper as my canvas, and the date was August 31st for this newspaper, which is like I say, kind of a significant date for me. If you want to go there, it was the day I turned 24 lifetimes old. But no, seriously, it was my birthday. August 31st is my birthday, and so I took a paper from that day, and I used washi tape and regular acrylic paint, but I painted it with fake flowers. I used fake flowers instead of paintbrushes, and as it turns out, it is kind of difficult to paint with fake flowers or anything that's not a paintbrush, I imagine. So it didn't come out looking like anything that I had in my mind. I thought I'll use these fake flowers and I'll just press them to the page and they'll make beautiful flowers, and that didn't exactly happen, but that's okay, because what came out instead was more like a ghost, like an imprint of a moment in time, which is exactly what this newspaper is. It's just a moment in time, because a year from now, a week from now, even, nobody's going to be talking about these things anymore probably, and we'll all have moved on to the next. It's not perfect, but I'm glad it's not perfect, because it's just a moment in time. And I know that's kind of a silly hippy-dippy concept, but I like it, so I'm happy with the way it turned out. I got happier the more I started using washi tape and giving it a shape, but it was good for me. So that was my unconventional painting that I did. The other prompt that I gave was a monster turned inside out, and I wrote little prose about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and then I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. because this is kind of the subject matter, the backbone behind what I wanted to talk about in this video. So here goes. A monster turned inside out. I don't know how to write this. How to write about a bouquet of floodlights clinging to the last tendrils of midnight, or 1,000 black flies swarming through the eye socket in the center of the North Star. How to write about a laugh track of a humorless bottle episode, or frostbitten fog that sucks the heat from a moment of joy. About the breath before the frustration turns fucking rude. I don't know how to write about a masterpiece broken in half and etched into 4 dirty foot soles, or a film of hard candy corseted around the strangled heart of an angel. I definitely don't know how to write about the echoless surrender of birthday wishes spent on friends who don't believe in lucky pennies. I don't think I possess the language to write about the obsessive checking over neighbors' shoulders for the tap-tap of hooves, or for the tongues of loved ones clipped into red ribbons. I don't know how to write about the game. Can't write about the slick of lip gloss smeared on the locks of windows, or the shards of rust clogging up the back of my throat, or my stomach, slung over the shoulder of my lever like a duffel bag. How do you write about the feeling that you're the only one who can't read minds? Or the searching for relics of creativity in the crypts of a dead language, a romance language carved into the curve of an ocean-bound bottle. And I don't know how to write about the uninspired abyss. Discarded ideas gnawed black. I don't know how to write my story turned inside out, a lie searched through and picked over, a lie hung on a fish hook to dry. I don't know how to write this. I never wanted anyone to know. I never wanted you to bite into these words. I never wanted anyone to see the way my mind tinges a white sheet of paper, or a rose, or silver lining, or break in the laughter, or a pile of muse halos. I never wanted this to pop into your head randomly, like when you're grocery shopping, or showering, or grocery shopping, or playing video game, or grocery shopping, or on the verge of orgasm, or grocery shopping, or looping and looping and looping. I never wanted to make you sad. I never wanted you to lose the luxury of perspective or ego, the way everything is pink when you flip it inside out. I never wanted you to be the one to see my stuffing, and I never wanted to be the one to teach you how to sew. I didn't want you to have to find out this way, but I don't know how to write this. Maybe I could try. So, that was my prose, Monster Turned Inside. As I said, that was kind of the backbone of what I wanted to talk about in this video. Because the truth is, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes. I think mental illness drives people to make a lot of mistakes. And mental illness can make you find ways to cope and reach for ways to cope that hurt other people sometimes. And my personal experience with that is that a couple years ago, maybe even a year ago, well, not even maybe, it was about a year ago that I was still doing it, but a few years ago I started to lie compulsively. I believe that this was, at the time, my way, my method of coping with what I have said before, which is what I think to be OCD. I would love to get diagnosed for that reason, but unfortunately, one of the ways that I coped at the time, a few years ago, a couple of years ago, leading up into last year, was by lying compulsively. That's one of the more unfortunate parts of OCD, is that it can cause people to do things they wouldn't normally do because they are trying to cope with the extreme anxiety that the obsessions cause them. And unfortunately, one of mine was lying. And I have since apologized to a lot of people for it. To a lot of the people that are still in my life, I apologize to them, and I vowed to myself and to them that I'm never going to lie again, within reason, unless it's absolutely necessary. But I wasn't lying about anything that was necessary. It was all frivolous bullshit, and it was pointless, and it netted me nothing but pain. Netted the people in my life, the people that cared about me, nothing but pain. Maybe some of them can't forgive me for it, and that's their prerogative. All I can do from here is move forward and be better. It's very difficult, and I think maybe one of the more difficult parts of it all, more difficult than apologizing, more difficult than admitting you did something wrong, is to forgive yourself, which is the journey that I have been on for the past year. I can't say that I've 100% forgiven myself quite yet, and the reason I say that is because, as I said, I recorded this video once already, and talking about this made me get emotional, which to me shows me that there's still some sort of hurt deep down that's kind of still festering over it. Forgiving myself has been difficult, and I think for a lot of us it's difficult. We have a hard time forgiving ourselves for the things that we've done wrong, because I see a lot of people who are mentally ill, who do things that they're not proud of. Like I say, I've done things I'm not proud of, and for a long time they talk about what a horrible person they are, and how they hate themselves, and they just don't know how to cope with what they've done, so they beat themselves up for it, and I've beat myself up for the things I've done too. And I think part of that is because we feel that if we forgive ourselves, then it means that we haven't properly atoned for what we've done, and it means that we don't feel bad enough for hurting people, for hurting ourselves. So we have to make ourselves feel bad in order to finally get to the point where we can say, I've beat myself up enough, and I think I can stop doing that now. That's not ever going to help you. It's never going to make you feel better to dump all over yourself and tell yourself every day that you're worthless. All it's going to do is keep you in that headspace and keep you from reaching the point where you're supposed to be now, and reaching for a greater purpose. And like I say, I am trying to create things like this. Writing this out felt good because it means that I am able to start processing this more and finally get to the point where I can fully forgive myself and maybe talk about this period in my life only to help other people who've been through it, and not to make myself feel horrible about it. To me, forgiveness, just like you would forgive anybody, means that you get to a point where you've completely accepted what's happened, what you've done, and the results that it produced and the consequences that you faced. And you don't have to talk about it anymore. Kind of like when you forgive another person, you don't bring that thing that they did up every time you have a fight with them. You just let it go and let it be. And that's what I think forgiving ourselves, forgiving myself will entail, is where I can finally breathe again and not feel like I have to apologize for what I did. And not feel like I have to continue beating myself up about it. Create something instead of letting the wound continue to fester. With all that said, the prompt number 1 for next time is to create a completely original character. You know, whether that's a character that you would write into a story, or a character in maybe a comic that you want to make, in a movie or a short film. Maybe it's your alter ego or your evil twin, or something like that. Maybe it's a Halloween costume that you want to make, and a story that you get to tell everybody who asks about your amazing Halloween costume. Whatever you want, just create an original character. And if you don't know where to get started with that, I know there are lots of guides online that will help you out in building up the background and the backstory of an original character. I'll link some in the description below because those are awesome. Or alternatively, if you don't want to do that, create something using a medium that you've never used before. And that is a personal challenge to myself because I have dabbled in quite a lot of different mediums. I've dabbled in crafting in the past, sewing. I've done a lot of baking and cooking. I got into painting this year. I've been writing all my life, and and I've even written songs before and done music before. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me to actually find something that I've never done before, but I'm going to go ahead and look for something, and I'm going to see what I can do with that and see what I can make using a medium I've never used before. We'll see what I can find out there. So there you go. Thanks ever so for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Have a lovely day. And remember, go out there and make yourself